Hello, so today I thought I'd talk about sleeping masks if you need one, and which ones are great. First, I want to mention thanks to Heather for mentioning some more Skin Fix goodies. We're at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, so I picked up both bottles that they had. They also had a bunch of the glycolic acid body butter, and I also found one I wanted to try, the Josie Marin Argan Milk. I also found this one there for. This one was $16, so I'd always wanted to try it, but it didn't get the best reviews. But you know what? When it's on sale at TJ Maxx, I can't help myself. So anyway, okay, so hydrating masks for sleeping. There's lots of different kinds of masks out there, actually. There's sheet masks, which are typically disposable, one-time use masks that are typically made of cotton or some type of material, and you put them on your face and let it sit there for 30-40 minutes or so, and then usually is kind of try and massage the rest in. Those are my least kind of favorite product for masks, but some of them are good. I have a pretty good collection of them now. I was trying to do a different sheet mask every day, and my skin could not take that. But I did successfully do one rinse-off mask every day for a month. Not sure why my skin tolerated that different than the sheet mask, but there's something there. Anyway, so those are great. There's also rinse-off masks, which you apply onto clean skin and then leave on for 10-15 minutes, then rinse off. Some of those are great, but you know what? The effects from them, when there's something that you rinse off, most of the good stuff goes off with it. So if it's a mask that you towel off or blot off or just massage the rest in, those are going to be a little bit better because you're getting all the good ingredients on your skin for more than just 20-30 minutes. So these are my favorite sleeping masks. First up, the Clinique Moisture Surge Overnight Mask. This one's really nice. Very hydrating. There's no scent to it, which is nice. I wish Clinique were cruelty-free. It'd make it a little more exciting, but it's just a really nice product from their lineup. And you can use this just like you would a sleeping mask. So in your evening routine, apply all your goodies, whatever you use, or exfoliate, or your retinoids. Apply them all, obviously in order of thickness and things. And then at the very, very end of your routine, as your last step, apply this liberally. And it helps to kind of seal everything in. And when you use a sleeping mask, a lot of times it will help prevent moisture loss. So a lot of these are good to use if you're using products that have a lot of humectants in them. Then a sleeping mask is really a good idea to use with those. Something that's thicker that will prevent that moisture loss. So this one's a nice one. It's been around for a long, long time. Okay, next up, so this is a newer brand, FutureWise, their Slug Cream. So currently they have 3 products that revolve around slugging. And if you're not familiar with slugging is basically using petroleum jelly or Vaseline as a sleeping mask before you go to bed as the last step in your routine. They slug it by applying a layer of Vaseline all over their face to seal everything else in and prevent that water loss. And so this brand called FutureWise has basically made their entire brand around the idea of slugging, except then with this brand, you don't need Vaseline because you just use their stuff instead. I mean, Vaseline's like $2 for a gallon of it. But anyway, this stuff does have some interesting hydrating ingredients as well. So it's a little bit advanced than Vaseline, and it's worth checking out some of their products. This is their Slug Cream, which is also really nice and really hydrating. Okay, next up, let's see. We've got the Bubble Overnight Hydrating Sleep Mask. I really like this. I like the texture. If you're somebody that applies a lot of layers before, this one's really easy to apply at the end of it because it's the texture of it is kind of a lotiony texture as opposed to like a super heavy, thick cream. So that's nice. You can just add it on at the end of your routine. The only thing I dislike about this is it does have a fragrant essential oil in it. It's not super strong. The scent isn't terribly noticeable, and it does dissipate, but it is there. So if you're sensitive to scents, that might be a pass. But otherwise, it's a super affordable brand, and most of their stuff is fragrance-free or unscented, which is nice. Okay, next up, I've got one product. So if you're a minimalist and you don't really want to go through like a 20-step or a 12-step evening routine, this product kind of combines them all in one moisturizing step with some actives in there. And it's the Allies of Skin Retinal and Peptides Overnight Mask. So it's got retinol in there, retinals, which is nice because then you don't have to worry about using other retinoids or retinol or dappling in your routine. This one does it all. It's also got a lot of good moisturizing ingredients as well as soothing ingredients as well as skin repairing peptides and things like that. So if you're a minimalist or just want a really short routine, this is sometimes the one I go to if I'm dead tired, I'm done for the day, I barely have energy to wash my face, I'm going to apply this, and it does the trick. Either that or the Jin Sung Soothing Essence Toner. So when I'm very lazy, it's going to be one of these guys most of the time. And this one combines all those good ingredients in there, which is wonderful. Okay, next up, I've talked about this one a lot, so I won't talk about it too terribly long. Klairs Midnight Blue Calming Cream. It's wonderful. It really works well at the end of a routine with a lot of stuff in it. The texture of it's super light. You can kind of just pat it on your skin, and it really does a nice job. No fragrance, lots of good peptides, and also very similar formula to the Drunk Elephant Protein, which I think is what a lot of people like about it. So, okay, next up, this is one that's great if your skin's really dry or if you did like microneedling that day or if you did some peel at home or peel in the office or whatever and you need something to really SOS your skin. That's the Glossier After Balm. A little bit, this one goes a very long way. I've been working on this jar for quite some time. I wouldn't say this one's like the best day in, day out for weeks straight because I found if I use this too often, too many times in a row, it clogs my pores up a little bit. Not terribly so, but enough where it's noticeable to me. So use it once or twice a week when your skin's really dry or after procedures and things like that. It's the thickest one and certainly one of the most hydrating in the bunch. And again, fragrance free, which is great for sensitive skin, which makes it great for after a peel or something like that. Okay, La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm, which is used by a lot of people that use tretinoin, strong retinoids, dappling at night. They love this stuff. So they'll apply their routine, they'll apply their tretinoin, dappling, which is great for anti-aging as well as fighting acne and things like that. They'll apply that, let it soak in for a minute, and then they apply this. And so many people just swear by that combination. So it's not really designed as a mask per se, but it's being used by a lot of people like a sleeping mask. And it really does have wonderful properties in terms of hydrating skin, calming it. Centella asiatica is amazing for calming red, irritated, flaky skin down. So I think that's why this is such a favorite by so many people. And I think it's worth checking out by many of you guys. Let's see. Okay, next up I've got this one's really interesting because you can use it in so many different ways, which I love. It's the Topicals Like Butter. What do they call it? It's just called Like Butter, and it's got green tea, metocasicide, turmeric, rhubarb, ginseng. I use it in a variety of different ways. So some nights I'll use it as a leave-on mask. At the end of my routine, I'll apply this and rinse it off the next morning. Sometimes I will apply it like a moisturizer if my skin's feeling dry or super sensitive. And sometimes I apply it like a traditional mask and then rinse it off in the shower after it sits on my skin for 20 or 30 minutes. Or sometimes you can just use it as a mask and then blot it off. So this stuff is really lovely. It does get very hydrating, so I don't necessarily find it's great during the daytime per se, but in the nighttime, it has so many great benefits for your skin, and it's really lovely. And a little bit of it goes a very, very long way. Unlike the next one where a little bit doesn't go a terribly long way, but it is a really nice product. And again, this one is similar to the Topicals Like Butter because it's multi-useful. That's the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask. They've reformulated it. The initial formulas, people had complaints, irritations. I think most of it was about the peppermint oil that was in there. This newest version has no fragrance in it, has no scent. They've taken out those irritating ingredients and they've left us with a really great product. And the ingredients in here are great. It's very lovely. It is kind of on the thick side, but I really enjoy it, and I've repurchased it multiple times now. I can't remember what number bottle I'm on, but I really like this, and I also use it similar to the Topicals. Sometimes I'll use it as a mask. Sometimes I'll use it as a sleeping mask. Sometimes I just use it as a moisturizer to hydrate my skin, so it's really nice, and I'm glad that they reformulated because the first product was so close to being a winner, and then that little bit of peppermint oil comes in, says, hi, I'm going to irritate the heck out of your face. So interesting. That's how I end up with that's one of the reasons I suspect I end up with such bad hyperpigmentation melasma, because a friend had suggested, like I'd get really hot in the summer, and they suggested using peppermint oil mixed with a little bit of water and spraying on my face anytime I got hot, and that would cool me down. However, peppermint oil is not good when it reacts with the sun, especially on your skin, which probably didn't have sunscreen on at the time, but this was like 20 years ago. But doing that for a summer, my skin was done for. It was screaming for help. Okay, I think this is the last one I've got, and this one I really like. It does have a little bit of citrus, mandarin, orange peel oil, I believe, but otherwise it's very nice. The Saturday Skin Yuzu Sleep Mask. It's very nice. It's got some nice brightening ingredients. It's also got some peptides in there, and the texture of it's really quite nice as well. And I tend to use this one just in my routine as the very last step. Look at that. So I just layer it on after everything else and kind of let it soak in while I sleep. The scent of it isn't terribly strong, but it is something I wanted to point out since most of these other ones are fragrance-free, to have two with fragrance in them for those that don't mind. Or the scent in this one's super light, but it is really a wonderful product. Saturday Skin is super hit or miss. Well, they have way more hits than misses, but they do have some misses, and when they miss, it's like, yeah. Anyway, their Waterfall Glacial Cream, amazing. And that was their other one, their Featherweight Moisturizer. I did not like that one at all. But anyway, this one was a winner for me. So anyway, there we go. Basically, I mean, you can certainly use Vaseline. There's nothing wrong with that. You just don't get some of the fun antioxidants and other ingredients in there. Or a lot of people use Aquaphor, which is also great, especially for, Aquaphor is really great for post-procedure or post-microneedling or post-laser, whatever. It's really great for that because the formula has no preservatives, which may irritate skin. It's just a very thick gel. I wouldn't even call it balm. So anyway, after my esthetician did my last microneedling, she recommended Eucerin, and I tried to use something else I thought was a little bit more exciting, and I regretted that, and now I use the Eucerin after that because the ingredient list is so minimal, but it still has some of those soothing ingredients in there, which are great to prevent some of that irritation that might be in other products that most things have preservatives in, which is great, except for when your skin is screaming from the inside out because you microneedled it a lot. So anyway, there we go. These are my favorite masks. So I am curious on hearing you guys, or maybe a lot of you guys don't even use a sleeping mask. I don't know. So leave your comment. Oh, another great one. I failed to mention the Cosrx Snail all-in-one cream. Sometimes I use this like a sleeping mask as the last step, but typically this is the step before, but a lot of people just use this as their last step too. So I didn't want to disinclude that. Is that a word? Disinclude, uninclude, whatever. Okay, anyway, thanks so much, guys. I will see you more tomorrow. Bye, guys.